Hello everyone, I'm Queen of the Night and welcome to my space. I hope my readings find you exactly when you need them and brings you the insight, reflection and clarity you're looking for. Please remember to always take what resonates and leave the rest, and roles can be reversed as well. So today I channeled a message that seemed pretty specific. I already pulled 3 cards and I wrote some things down when I channeled the message, and I felt like I really need to share this message. It's definitely for someone. The reading is very much focused on healing, but not any type of healing. It's a very ancient type of healing, a much deeper type of healing, and it becomes more and more interesting. And it was very interesting to me. Again, sorry for repeating that 3 times, but it really was. I didn't expect it, the direction that it went, and I did have fun with this reading, and I also feel like I need to share this message. So I may say that the collective that I'm speaking with right now, they also surprise themselves. This is with what I want to start. So now let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so we have the Fool, 4 of Swords and 6 of Wands. We start with the Fool. The collective today embodies the Fool archetype. The Fool is someone that is very carefree, someone that is very excited to start a new journey. He's not afraid to take this leap of faith. We know there's a cliff right there in front of him. Usually in the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck, this is the before tarot deck, so the depiction is not exactly like that, but in the original card, there's a cliff in front of him. That cliff represents the unknown. But even though he knows he might fall or fail, he still takes the step, he still goes for it, even though he doesn't know what exactly is on the other side. To me, the Fool, when I see the Fool, is not necessarily foolish or stupid. I don't see it like that, because he has like a childlike energy. I think from the outside, for other people looking at him, he might look foolish because he just goes for it, even though he doesn't have the full picture yet. But that's also the beauty of life sometimes. You don't always know what awaits you. And if you feel excited about something, if you feel called towards something, sometimes you just have to go for it instead of overthinking how other people will view you, what they will think of you, or whether they'll understand your choices. That's why I feel like the Fool is simply like unbothered, like unburdened, unbothered. He just does his own thing. He doesn't care about the opinions of others. If he wants to do something, he's gonna go for it. He's excited to experience life. So you are excited to start something new, excited to discover what's possible for you. The Fool is a beginner. He's stepping into the unknown. But there's something very beautiful and freeing about this energy, because when you're passionate about something, you should not care so much about the external things like people, what other people think or how you will be viewed. You should just go for it. That's the beauty of life sometimes, the unknown. What can be on the other side of me taking this risk? The Fool also means taking a risk into something, even though you're not very sure what is gonna happen or where you're actually gonna arrive, but you're still going towards that road that you wanna take or go. And for whoever this reading is for today, it might be a little bit more specific, maybe for some other people, but I'm reading for the collective, so we are all one entity, we are all one consciousness, so multiple people can embody the same energy at the same time, right? And I feel like there's someone here that truly wants to do something they want to put the work into. You already started something new, or you want to start something new. This can be a project, something connected to work, a craft, a passion, or I don't know, something like creative, something that you want to create or invest in. But the message here is to just go for it. You have nothing to lose, sometimes there's that saying, if you don't risk, you don't win. So how can you know if you don't try? So that's the fool. He tries even though he doesn't know, or he's unsure, or sometimes doubtful. I guess he has to see for himself, because again we have this beginner energy. Someone here is a beginner at something, and maybe they feel unsure about it. Maybe they're thinking, again, like I said, maybe there's someone that already does this thing, or there's so many people doing this craft, so maybe this is nothing special. Why should I take this leap of faith into this thing, right? What will people think, or stuff like that. But if it's new for you, if you're excited about it, if it genuinely makes you happy, then you should go with the flow and allow yourself to explore it. The fool is an explorer as well. He doesn't have too many things packed with him, because he went on into this journey, so he left behind things that will not serve him into his next phase of life. Things that you have to live in the past in order to move on. And this can be, like I said, the doubts. It doesn't have to be like something crazy or like, but your doubts maybe, and stuff like that. So that's what the fool does. He goes with the flow, he takes a step, he puts in the work without obsessing over the fact that he hasn't achieved the final result yet. Because at the bottom of the deck we have the Seven of Pentacles right here, and that's putting in the work, but you have to wait for the results. You have to first put in the work. In the Seven of Pentacles, this person has to plant seeds. You have to plant seeds step by step, and I feel like it connects perfectly in a way with the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like you want to start a completely new journey, something that truly excites you, something that you're passionate about. And because we also have the Six of Wands here, it feels like this is something you really want to achieve. The Six of Wands is victory, achievement, recognition, finally accomplishing something meaningful, something that you really wanted, and now you're victorious in that thing. So this doesn't feel like you're necessarily wandering around like you don't know where you want to go. That's why I said that about the fool earlier. He knows what he wants to do. He only needs to take that step and just go for it and just do it. So someone here has a goal, something that they really want to achieve. But then we have the Four of Swords in the middle, and that changes a little bit of things, because I feel like, yes, this person is very excited and ready to move forward, but at the same time it feels like they still need healing and integration before fully stepping into this new chapter. The Four of Swords is rest, meditation, quieting the mind, taking time for yourself, and reflecting on what you truly want and why you want it. The Four of Swords is also, the way I view it, is also grounding yourself mentally and emotionally before moving forward And I'm saying before moving forward because we have the Fool that wants to take a leap of faith. And obviously in other contexts it can mean different things, but because we also have the butterflies here, I feel like that symbolizes transformation and change, because there are 5 butterflies, and in numerology number 5 signifies change, but also challenge. So it looks like you're going through a transformation within yourself, like before fully stepping into this new chapter, this next phase of your life. So the Fool feels very passionate to me, because even when he's standing at the edge of the cliff, he's still looking up in that original card. In this card it's a little bit different, but I'm always thinking about the original Rider-Waite tarot deck. So I like to include all the symbols from whatever comes to me in that moment, in this moment. So he knows the cliff is there, he knows he might fall, but he's not necessarily looking at it. He's looking up, he's looking happy and excited and still very hopeful. It's almost like he's saying, I don't know exactly where this goes, but I'm still gonna take the step, I'm still gonna go for it. So that's the energy that I'm getting here with the Fool. And I did focus today for some reason more on the Fool card and the 4 of Swords, but more on the Fool, because it's the Fool's journey. So the 4 of Swords also tells me that you're a person that has been through a lot, because I see these 3 swords on top of the person laying down, resting. And 3 of Swords is pain, it's heartbreak, and they are still there on top of this person, which for me symbolizes that the pain didn't completely disappear, but you're on the way to healing that. You're preparing yourself to move forward. I feel like maybe you can fully step into this, whatever you want to do, because you still need to heal something. And the combination between the 4 of Swords and 6 of Wands, it gives me healer energy. Like this could be somebody healing themselves and finally feeling victorious, like I said, because we had those 3 swords, right? So I feel like you still had to heal something in order for you to move on with whatever you want to do. And but it could also be somebody becoming recognized for doing healing work, like wisdom, guidance, or helping others heal. I don't feel like the victory here or the achievement is necessarily an external recognition. I don't feel like this person that I'm channeling this message for is searching necessarily for external recognition or validation. But if going for what they want can help other people, yes, that can be an achievement, that can be a victory in itself. But it can also be the 4 of Swords and 6 of Wands. It can be finally overcoming something within yourself. And again, at the bottom of the deck we have the 7 of Pentacles, and I feel like that connects perfectly with the Fool, because the 7 of Pentacles is about planting seeds again, wanting to build something over time. So you can't rush things. You have to start from somewhere, right? With the Fool. It's the saying that growth doesn't happen overnight. You have to take things step by step and have patience. And I feel like metaphorically, but not metaphorically, actually, the first seed that gets to be planted is the literal taking the step, right? That's the first seed that you can start with planting, and from there you keep planting and you keep planting, right? You have to have patience, because the fool can be very, very excited as well, very excited. That's why it's called the fool, because he might be foolish a little bit because he has a cliff in front of him and it might be dangerous, but he's still going for it. Obviously, be careful about real events like that. This is all metaphorical, guys, and symbolical, which this word is. Symbols, numbers, geometry, and so on. So yeah, you start summer, you keep planting, you keep growing, and eventually you'll have a whole garden, right? When you keep planting flowers or whatever you're planting, maybe some of you literally have a garden and you want to start planting, you want to do gardening, and you don't know where to start from. But you have to start from somewhere. Start with a small seed of something, and from there you're gonna figure it out. And again, we come back to the Six of Wands. The achievement, the recognition, the success, the feeling of finally accomplishing something meaningful. Because in the Seven of Pentacles, this guy puts a lot of effort and patience again, right? So just go for it. You never know what's on the other side. You might actually be very successful in your endeavors, in whatever you're putting your time into or you're investing in. Again, that can be pretty specific for someone, or because we don't have more clarifiers. But again, I feel like I said in the beginning that was a specific reading, and it is a specific reading because it centers around the healing. Again, please take what resonates and leave the rest, and stay with me here because I have a little bit more of this channeled message. So yeah, like I said, the fool goes his own way. He doesn't really care too much about the external validation. He cares more about his own validation within himself, for himself, to actually like what he's doing and how he's doing things, because each person is unique and everybody has their own talent, and nobody can do the things that you do the way you do them. And you should like that. You should like the way you do things, because that's who you are and that's make you unique. And I feel like that's the fool for me. And I feel like you're also a person that doesn't give too many explanation either. So whoever I'm talking to right now, I feel like you're somebody that if you want to do something, you're not gonna like explain yourself to everybody. You're just gonna do this because you want to do it, and you're gonna do it for yourself. And whatever this is that you want to invest in with the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I feel like just by being yourself, by being authentic, you might not only heal yourself, but maybe in the process of healing yourself, you help other people heal too, just by being yourself, while also becoming successful in whatever this is for you. I feel like you will lead by example, or you're leading by example, you know. I feel like if we want to change the world, we should start with ourselves. And that represents also having the courage to do whatever you want to do and to pursue your passions and just go for it, because I feel like that's what life is all about. If we don't follow our dreams, oh my gosh, our dreams will follow us. I don't know what that means, but that came to me right now. But yeah, if you don't follow your dreams in this life, or do what makes you happy and passionate about, then what's the point, right? And I feel like a lot of people are doing this for other people. They're doing things by thinking about what other people will think if they do this. So maybe that's why a lot of the times it can be an impediment to just be yourself and do you. boo. I don't know where that came from, sorry, but do you boo? And again, for some of you, this might for some of you, mm, like I said, it's very specific, so it can be for all of you, for everybody, for the collective. But I feel like it might literally be something connected to healing work. It can be Reiki, it can be Sekhem. Sekhem comes pretty strongly. Sekhem is a form of energy healing. It is a high vibrational energy healing that channels universal life force. It used to be practiced in ancient Egypt. Also, Heka comes through. Heka, Sekhem, Heka. Heka is the power itself. The ancient Egyptian word for Heka is magic, and also the name of the Egyptian god of magic and medicine, also called the same, Heka. But for the Egyptians, it was the primordial force that created the universe and allowed thoughts, words, and images to become reality, which swords usually represents thoughts, words, right? Imagination, mind, thinking. So yeah, words and images like to become a reality. So some things associated with Heka are spoken words, symbols, hieroglyphs, rituals, chants, intention, visualization, and amulets. The most prominent symbol of Heka is the holding staff with two intertwined serpents, and that's the symbol of that you see in the pharmacies, for example, as a sign of medicine, because it comes from there. A lot of the symbols that they use today, actually they're coming from somewhere else, and maybe they readapted it, but at the core base it has the meaning from before. Like in ancient Egypt, it was a symbol for medicine and transformation, like the snakes, right? Snakes symbolizes transformation because they shed their skin. So pharmacy, medical school, being a doctor comes through. Some of you, maybe someone is studying medicine, someone wants to start this, like going to the medicine school. Maybe they're, like I said, maybe you don't know where to start. It might be overwhelming, intimidating, but I feel like with the Fool here, the Fool says to just go and try, if that's what you really want and that's what you're passionate about, obviously. So this seems like it's a very specific reading. You might also want to like study the Egyptian pantheon and ancient Egyptian healing practices. So there's a lot of healing energy. So that's why I feel like it's so specific. It's someone that wants to do something with healing, medicine, something like that. But it can also, this is where I felt like it was very interesting, because then I started channeling something about ancient Egyptian healing practices, like Sekhem, like I said, Reiki, but Sekhem is before Reiki. Sekhmet also was coming through. I will say this, but because I do believe in past lives, and that's my own opinion, and when I feel like saying my own opinion, I will say it. So I do believe in past lives, and I feel like you could have been a priest or a practitioner or healer in ancient Egypt. So healing through sacred life force energy and conscious transformation. I feel like you have an innate ability to heal on a more complex and deeper level. Like, that's why I feel like the past life I don't know why it came like that, but this is how it came and this is how I'm gonna say it. But it feels like the body remembers. So healing the mind, body and soul. And my phone is gonna close in 30 seconds, so I might have to do a part 2 about this. It's already 25 minutes, so that's a lot, because I do still have some